I saw another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, where you going? Won't be as simple for you.
I'm on mute. I'm on mute. Sorry, guys. I'm on mute. I'm on mute. Yeah. Well, hey, guys. Old man G here. Back again. I mean, it's in the title, guys. I mean, we're trash. You know, we're trash. I don't really want to go on too long in this post-match stream, but if you are new to the channel, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to Red Devil Studio, follow us on Twitter and X, and smash the notification button. For those who know me, I was like, generally, I think the RDS persona is going to be on bench for a few minutes because I can't really take this garbage anymore. Because it's one thing for like I can kind of like accept like teams trying hard enough and even mistakes because you're kind of like, okay, with mistakes, it is what it is. We tried, but you know, mistakes happen. But when there's like zero effort from a team, that's when I find it very difficult to deal with. And I think that's the reason why I'm late, guys, is that I was actually well, I wasn't at the Newcastle game, but I was around St. James's Park, so I was with a lot of Newcastle fans. Obviously, it's Newcastle, my second team, so I live up here. So there was a lot of like talk about the game, and I'll be honest, Newcastle fans are great, man. So it was good. It was good to see that Newcastle is basically where are the new United and/or Chelsea, in my personal opinion. They are the new United and/or Chelsea because of the fans, the football, the togetherness, the team, and it's where it's where you think that Manchester United should be as a football club. And they're not. They're not where they should be. I don't know. Big up Mega in the chat says, "Yo, RDS, continue. Cruyff is spinning in his grave." I mean, I think I'm at the point where I suspect that Ten Hag is an interim coach. Ten Hag is an interim coach. Because he looks dejected, the team looks dejected, and at the end of the day, when with Ineos who we know are going to be potentially coming under Ratcliffe and taking 25%, they're going to want their own thing. So if you're Ten Hag, you're on borrowed time. Because Ineos are going to come in, they're going to be taking control of footballing structures, and I know for a fact they're going to want their own guys. So the way I see it is that Ten Hag is probably going to be here till the end of the season, until everything gets finalized for the Sir Jim Ratcliffe deal, and then when that is done, he probably will be let go. That's my prediction at the end of the day. It's my prediction because he would the guys want their own guy anyway. But with what I mean, I don't want to go onto it, but it's just that I just get this team just doesn't look like it's playing for this manager. That's all I can say. This team does not look like it's playing for this manager whatsoever. I felt like they actually sorry guys, I thought they actually fought harder for Ollie. And you look at the football and you're kind of like, I mean, this football looks worse than Ollie's. You know, our record was better, our performance was better. Like, I don't even know what this football is. Like, this is worse than Ollie's football, and we spent 400 million more, and yet this football that we're playing is worse than Ollie's. I don't get that. I know we have injuries, but Ollie had injuries. We got injuries, you know. So this is the thing that I was saying, you know, at the time when Ollie Gunnars was set, and even last season when United fans were getting gassed because we came third and won the Carabao Cup, was that I've not seen enough from Ten Hag this season to convince me that he's the right manager for Manchester United going forward. I haven't. And I always said when we sacked Ollie was that don't just assume that because a manager plays a certain type of way of football, a certain type of team, that is going to translate to Manchester United because the expectations are different at United and the club structure is different at Manchester United and the Premier League is different. Don't expect it. That's why I'm not hearing the De Zerbi or even the Big Ange shouts to come to Manchester United. I'm not, because those managers are working on a completely different structure with completely different players. You know? Mega, we need players like Anthony Gordon, 2-foot and technically sound workhorse. Well, yeah, but the thing is, it's easy to say these things in hindsight, though. Like, you know, Ollie wanted Bellingham and Haaland. But do we know for a fact that if those two players came to Manchester United, that they would be the players they are now? I don't know. It's the same thing. So we can say we want X player. Sancho is balling at Dortmund. He comes to United. Well, you know what's happening. So I can't remember the last time a player came to United and really drove this team forward. I mean, Bruno was okay, I guess, but that's about it, really. We signed so many players, and yet I can't remember a single signing recently. I'm like, this signing has really. We thought it was Casper and Varane, and look at where we are, you know. But this game was a disaster. We clearly came to St. James's Park to sit back and transition and counter, and that's fine. I didn't actually expect United to actually beat Newcastle at St. James's Park because, you know, well, PSG didn't and Chelsea didn't. So I don't really know what arrogance United fans had in thinking that we had a right to beat Newcastle. We were never favourites in this game. That's the first thing, especially with where Newcastle are now. You know, they dunked on PSG and they dunked on Chelsea, and they're probably going to dunk on a lot of other teams at St. James's Park this season. So there's no shame in losing to Newcastle. I'm not upset in this game because United lost to Newcastle. I expected it. A draw would have been nice, a win even better, but I expected the loss. What I'm disappointed by is the manner of the loss. That's the problem. The manner of the loss is the issue. And it's just not acceptable. Big up Rasmus, man. Yeah, it was an absolute disgraceful performance. Mustafa says we need Ratcliffe to come in to get into him till the end of the season. I think, like I said, I think Ten Hag is the interim. Ten Hag is the interim, Mustafa. Ten Hag is the interim. I see you got the Madrid logo. Just go on loan to Madrid, man. That's all I can say. Go on loan to Madrid and see what happens. Scumbridge is still backing Eric Teabag. I mean, it's not so much backing. Like this is the thing that I said at the start, is that, you know, go back and watch my streams from last year, and you'll see that I was never fully. I think after the Ollie situation, the way I see managers, I don't want to have an emotional, because Ollie was, you know, he's our guy, 1999. So I have an emotional attachment and connection to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and wanting him to succeed because of what he did for us as a player. With Ten Hag, and after the Ole situation, I said, I'm not going to have that strong emotional attachment to a manager again until I see evidence that they will deliver significantly for Manchester United. That was always my stance. So with Ten Hag, it was like, I'm going to give him the benefit of the first season, but there's still a lot in that first season that I was worried about. In particular, the pimp slapping by City and United. That by City and Liverpool, sorry, that concerned me. The manner in which we lost, we got knocked out of the Europa League against Sevilla. The final performance. Yes, we won the Carabao Cup, but I mean they had injuries and Nick Pope was out, was suspended. I think he was. You know, so I still wasn't convinced. And what we're seeing this season, yes, we have injuries. We have injuries to Lisandro Martinez, but to be honest, and Casemiro, okay, yeah, I get that. Eriksen's not here. Okay, the creativity, I get that. I mean, I would love to see a midfield with, maybe try Mainu, Eriksen, and Bruno to get a bit of creativity. I don't know, but what I do know is that the performance hasn't been good enough, and Ten Hag is on borrowed time. I've said for a long time that I just hope that United can secure fifth. If we can secure fifth this season, hopefully that'll be enough to secure Champions League football next season with the whole coefficient thingy majig. That is all I'm concerned about. If we can do that, cool. Because we're not better than Newcastle. Clearly, we're not better than Liverpool. We're not better than City. We're not better than Arsenal. And I don't think we're better than Spurs. So actually, I think that and probably you could put Villa into that and Brighton. So probably United are probably the 8th best team in the league. Where we are 8th is probably where we should be. We should be 8th. But you hope that maybe you can pick up a couple of wins here, there, where some of these other teams drop points that we can slowly sneak into 8th to 5th. That's the only thing. It's on Erik Ten Hag for picking Rashford and McTominay and not subbing them earlier. But again, Rasmus, Ollie did this. So you have to ask the question, and I said this several times, that there's certain things going on behind the scenes. I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, maybe he has I don't know, because Ollie did the same thing. Ollie always picked Rashford. Ollie always picked McTominay. We thought getting a new manager that would be different. He wanted McTominay and Maguire gone, sold, but they couldn't get them sold, and now they're now an integral part of the team. Why? So I think, if I'm personal, what I think it is that McTominay, Maguire, and Rashford, these core players, are the dons that are in charge of managerial sackings. And if Maguire, McTominay, and Rashford, the core British contingent, aren't unhappy, a manager's probably going. That's what I think. Anyway, I'm not going to be too long, maybe half an hour tops, because I've got work in the morning and I can't be asked with these bums. I think Newcastle had 40 touches inside the box, so we didn't have even 10. An absolute battering, possibly the same level of that. Yeah, exactly. And this is one thing I want to say, Rasmus, is that I get it that Onana has made mistakes, and he has made a lot of mistakes this season. He's not been great, but people also need to realize that the amount of chances that we've gifted his opposition teams hasn't helped. If you're getting, if as you said, you're getting 40 touches inside our box, 40 touches inside our box, 40 touches, and then you want the goalkeeper, and then let alone if you have clinical finishers, the strikers do that. So I'm not justifying Onana's mistakes, but it's like, if Onana was let's say Onana was a City goalkeeper, the opposing team wouldn't have those amount of opportunities, those chances at all. He still might make a few mistakes over there, but it would barely be noticeable. That's why we didn't notice it in Inter Milan, because they defend so well that getting into them and not having shots opportunities against him wasn't as common in Serie A and when I saw it in the Champions League. Defensively, and especially including the midfield, it's not been great. Today, you can make a case that Harry Maguire was Manchester United's best player, and that's saying a lot. And you can make a case, arguably, Harry Maguire is United's best player for a while now. That is saying a massive amount. How is Harry Maguire our best player? What's going on? I don't know. I don't know. I really, really don't know for this team. I don't know. Let me get into the player ratings, guys. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, look at the stats here: 22 shots, 8 shots, 4 shots on target. Obviously, they scored from 1. Only 1 shot on target in 90 minutes away. 59% possession, 41% possession. Fouls, 13 fouls, 2 yellow cards. But 1 shot on target in 90 minutes. That's all. That's all can be said. And you look at the table right now. United is 7th. And if Brighton beat Chelsea, which might could happen, I don't know. I mean, I can be thankful that Chelsea are still where they are. But if Brighton beat Chelsea, we're the only team in the top, I think, 11. We're the only team. This shows how trash our attack has been. We're the only team in the top 11 that has a negative goal difference. The only team in the top 11 to have a negative goal difference. You're about 4 points from top 4 with obviously a game played because Liverpool, Aston Villa. I think Liverpool play Villa, don't they? Is that tomorrow? Is it? No, they play Bournemouth, who they'll win. I think it's Fulham that Liverpool plays. Sorry, that's my bad. But like I said, I just hope that 5th place secures Champions League. And in that case, we're only 2 points from it currently, although Spurs have yet to play, Brighton yet to play, so probably 3 or 4. I don't know. And you hope that one of these teams in the top 6 bottle it. But I just, it's a hope. Really and truly, I think United probably finish either 7th or 8th with the way that we've been this season, which has been mediocre at best. Chelsea will beat United on Wednesday's game killer. I'm not sure. We'll see. Depends how if they get baptized tomorrow. If Chelsea get baptized tomorrow, then we'll see what happens. But I hope the United can give a decent performance against Chelsea. Because I mean, we lost 1-0 to Newcastle at St James's Park. Chelsea got dunked on 4-1. So we'll see what happens. We got away with it because Newcastle scored the second most amount of goals in the Premier League. I mean, look at this. I mean, let's look at stats so you see it. You're right. Newcastle have scored the second. City obviously, but it's not even like 33. I mean, obviously City have got to play a game, but 33 goals. Newcastle scored 32 goals. And their defensive record is I think the 4th best because Liverpool have 11, Arsenal conceded 11, City conceded 13, and Newcastle 14. So Newcastle have the 2nd best score record, and then they have the 4th best defensive record. United, 16 goals in 14 games. That's almost just over 1 goal a game. Terrible. And conceding almost just over a goal a game. Garbage, man. Absolutely garbage, man. Let's go with the player ratings, man. Bayern and Liverpool will be relishing United next week. Oh yeah, Bayern and Liverpool will cook United. Chelsea, I'm not sure, but certainly Bayern and Liverpool will be cooking United. Definitely. I with the way the United are playing now, if Ten Hag gets cooked by Bayern and Liverpool, he'll probably be on his last legs. Let's quickly do the player ratings now. Onana, I'll give Onana a 6. I think he did okay today. Average performance, maybe 1 or 2 key saves. But again, the amount of chance that we can see to this guy is not good enough. We don't have the players to play, a possessive, out from the back style. So it's weird for me when I hear Ten Hag saying, we're going to do our own way of Manchester United, but the players that you get are kind of, it's just weird to me. So Onana 6, Wan-Bissaka, I think he was somewhat at fault for the goal. Other than that, from what I saw, 5. Maguire for me was our man of the match. I put a defensive performance there. For those who are saying that Varane, for me, when you say for me, from what I've seen of Varane this season, Maguire's been better than Varane. Varane has gotten injured multiple times, and when he's come, the biggest eye opener for me was when he came on against Copenhagen. When Evans got injured and he came on against Copenhagen, and it was a disaster class. So I'm not going to buy into. I'm not saying he's Varane is bad. I mean, he can be good, but the injuries, as well as the fact that like he's still been a part of a lot of our heavy defeats. You know, Varane has been. He was in our centre back pairing situation last season when we're playing against cities and Liverpool's, etc. So I'm not going to hit by this whole. Our defense is so much better. And we've held a lot of L's when he's been in our box as well. So, but you know, it is what it is. Luke Shaw obviously playing left side centre, but I don't really like this idea. I mean, you know, I don't know. If you're gonna do that, then maybe put a natural left back in Reguilon there, who's good going forward. I don't really like playing Dallo on the left. I'd rather he and Sergio Ramos on the right, personally. But anyway, Luke Shaw, you know, 5.5. Dallo 5.5 again as well. McTominay 4. Disappeared. Didn't really know what McTominay really adds to this team. I'll be perfectly honest. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it was. To be honest, I don't know what Maguire can do about that. Because it came back. He's in offside position, and also I don't think the goal would have gone in. The keeper would have got it anyway. So I don't think, you know, people say Maguire, the keeper would have reached it, so it's fine. Let's see. Yeah, so McTominay 4, Mainu. I mean, Amrabat should have started Mainu, to be honest. I don't know why he says McTominay. Not good enough. But Mainu, I mean, because he's a youth and a kid, and he's still, to be honest, whatever you say, he's still our best midfielder. So, you know, I'll give Mainu a 6, you know, because he's just started, he's just come back from injury, and he's still arguably our best midfielder. He was better than McTominay and Bruno today, personally. Bruno 5.5. Captaincy tax ineffective today. So I give him that. Rashford, I'm gonna give Rashford a 2, to be honest. Rashford needs to be benched. But I feel like if he benches Rashford, Ten Hag's job is next. That's what I think. But Rashford for me needs to be benched. I'd rather have Palestri there, Ahmad there, or whatever. You're going to play him on the right because you can't drop Garnacho now. Then play Rashford, then drop Rashford. Martial was ineffective as well. I mean, I was surprised, to be honest, that we started Martial. I thought we'd start with Højlund, you know, to give us a bit of, but he didn't. Their work with Martial and Martial's work off the ball was so strange, wasn't good enough. So for me, against Chelsea, you play Garnacho, Højlund, and Palestri. Maybe even bring Anthony, because in fairness to Anthony, I know Anthony hasn't had a good season, but at least recently, Anthony has looked more dangerous and more involved, wanting to make things happen than Rashford has. I'd argue in the last few games when I've seen Anthony, he's played better than Rashford has for his 90 minutes. And that's saying something, because Anthony's not been great at all, but Rashford has been really, really bad. Garnacho, I'll give a yeah, Dallo was cooked by Trippier, exactly. But again, expected. You know, people like this Newcastle side. If you look at this Newcastle side, I'd argue. I mean, look, I mean, Pope is better than Onana. Trippier and Livramento are better than our fullbacks. I'm sorry. Miley, Gimenez, and Joe Linton have a better midfield than we have, and our front three, Isak, Gordon, Almiron, like all of Newcastle's team. The team is better than our 11. If you compare like for like, they are. They are. I can't think a single player that I'm like, if I look at that and go, you know, they could get into this United team. They could. You know, maybe Garnacho's better than Almiron, and even then, I don't know. So there you go. So anyway, back to the player ratings. So Garnacho, I'll give a 5. And then Martial, actually, I'll give Martial a 3.5. You know, it's a graveyard shift being number 9. But the ball work that his work off the ball today was not great, not great. So overall, like I said, for me, best player on the field was Harry Maguire, and you could see the fact that there's, you can see if you look at this side, you can see the fact that only Maguire has a yellow card as to how much effort the team were putting in. If you think about it, we've only had one yellow card. How much pressing was done? How much chasing was done? How much running in the ball back then? No, the only time I saw the aggression actually for Manchester United was actually in the last maybe 10 minutes or so when they had to try and get something from it. It was strange. United is I don't know. I don't think Casemiro. This is the thing. A lot of people say United missed this player, United missed this player, but the thing is, they've still not been that great. United miss Shaw. He comes in, he's okay. He doesn't set the world on fire. Even if United bring all their injured fit players back, United miss Varane. Varane comes back, drops a disaster class against Copenhagen. Casemiro likewise against Galatasaray. So yes, it'll be great for depth, but I don't necessarily agree that just if X player comes back, then everything will be fine. But Tomlin 4, you were so generous. He gets a 0, absolutely useless. He was playing hide and seek. Yeah, I mean, I think it's because I don't really expect anything from McTominay at all, really. And I've said that for a while. Aside from the fact that he's a semi-decent support striker, he's got a decent foot on him, so he can score goals. So push him further forward instead of making him play in a holding midfielder role. But also at the end of the day, he's not the one that's getting paid 300k a week, 250k a week, etc., etc., etc. That's our man Rashford. So I'll be critical on the higher earners and also the captain for not delivering what they should be delivering. Gord says, if we someone lose to Chelsea Wednesday, wrap up. Yeah, we can't lose to Chelsea on Trafford, man. We can't. That's one thing. If we can cook Chelsea, it can easily take some satisfaction, but we can't lose to Chelsea or Trafford. We can't. It'd be a disaster if we did. It'll be an absolute disaster. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. If you are new to Red Devil Studio, please subscribe to the channel. Get your thoughts in, like the vid, subscribe. Helps the algorithm. We're on 4K subscribers. Let's push on to 5K and build this community as well. We haven't had a proper player on the right wing since the one who shall not be named. Yes. I know. I saw what he did. He's doing at Getafe, and it's difficult. I'll put it that way, because if that player who shall not be named was playing this team, especially with an out of form Rashford and Martial, etc. You have that player, you have Garnacho, and then you have Højlund. GHG, things could cook, but it is what it is. I want minimum 5 versus Chelsea for me to feel better about this team. Nah, we're not beating Chelsea by that. I mean, it depends. I mean, surely Rashford and Højlund can target a 39-year-old Thiago Silva. Surely. But the issue for me is going to be the midfield battle. Chelsea's midfield versus our midfield. And who wins that? Caicedo, Enzo, Gallagher, or McTominay, Mainu, and Bruno. So I don't know who wins the midfield battle. And then obviously our attackers. Our attackers are trash. But Chelsea attacks are trash. So which attacks are going to be a trash? So I feel like it's going to come to the defense at the end of the day. But yeah, we can't afford to lose to Chelsea. I can't take a Chelsea L or Trafford. I really can't. And it'd be good to kind of increase the gap between ourselves and Chelsea, because if they lose at Brighton tomorrow, which is a possibility at home, and we beat Chelsea midweek, we'll be, I think, 11 points clear of Chelsea FC, and that's a dub. That's a win. Do you think we will be better than them? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You know, I saw the Galatasaray performance away before Nana made the mistakes, and I was thinking, this team can do something. This team can do something. Everton, we just defended well and we took our chances. Today we were awful. So we've had 3 different performances from Manchester United in the space of 8 or 10 days. You know, a United side that was not particularly convincing, but took their chance and got the job done. United side that, in my opinion, playing wise was convincing, but got let down by the keeper. And then now a United team that looks completely unconvincing. I don't know which one is going to turn up to Chelsea at Old Trafford, but it better be the one that the Galatasaray one. Has to be Amram Bam. That's not gonna. It's not gonna be that though. It's not gonna be that though. Unfortunately, Z. It's not gonna be that. I wish it was Z, but it's not. I'm so torn about IMW and Dallo. Dallo was so suspect in defending, Ambach so bad at going forward. Have Ambach can fall asleep too, like he did in the case of Gordon's goal. Yeah, he can sometimes be done the back post AWB. You know, let's be real. Dallo and Anwar Basaka and Reglon and Shaw, none of these are world-class fullbacks. They're not world-class fullbacks. They're not. There are better fullbacks than them out there. I actually thought Tellez was actually all right in terms of his delivery. So I don't know why we sold him, but it is what it is. You know, Malacia is out injured. Is he going to come back to the same? I don't know. You know, so, but you're right. They're not world class, but you know, it's what we have, unfortunately. But yeah, guys. You know, it is what it is. That's all I can say. It is what it is. We go again. And like I said, I don't expect this team to win a trophy this season. We're out of the Champions League. Hopefully by being out of the Champions League, we can just focus on the Premier League, the best of competition. And that's my only hope, really, because I want United to be qualifying for the Champions League next season under the new format, and with new ambitions and dreams, especially with the Ratcliffe involvement. And the only way we can do that, for me, is we focus on the league, and try and take advantage of the teams that aren't. That's it. You know, you've got your FA Cup and your Premier League. You have one game, you know, after, I think, was it, because we've obviously got 2 or 3 games in this busy Christmas period, but after January, we'll be back to 1 game a week. You know, focus on strategy, on tactics, getting players fit, and get going. That was, like I said, that was a disappointing thing for me about Marcus Rashford today, was that you didn't play against Galatasaray. You didn't play against them, and yet you looked like you didn't give a crap. You didn't play against Galatasaray, but you look like you didn't give a crap, like you're unfit, etc. I don't know whether this is because of the Sancho situation. Maybe it is. Maybe everyone is like, we don't like Ten Hag, so how we treated Sancho. Bring Sancho back. You know, all the rest of it. Player power, FC, etc. And you know, that is basic. That is what you know, where we are as football club. If you watch the interview from Obi Mikel, he told people, he was saying that this is how it is. You know, when you don't want to manage a club, you don't really put as much effort, you don't perform. That's basically what happens. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is not what's happening at Manchester United Football Club as well. That's really all there is to say, folks. You know, like I said, I've got to go to bed, so I've got to go to work in the morning. But you know, awful game, awful performance. It was almost, you know, these 3 games were the challenge, and it's like, it's weird because you're like, I thought Everton away was going to be hard. I thought they were all going to be hard, and at the end of the day, it's like, well, okay, happy to be Everton. We should have been Galatasaray, and this Newcastle game, if they'd had a bit of a better mentality, maybe, you know, maybe you get a point. Maybe you get a point from this game, you know, but Celevi. Danny Blas says, piss poor performance. Indeed, it was. And Newcastle are classed away. Howay, man. Howay the lads, man. Howay the lads, man. Howay the lads, man. Howay the lads. Especially someone who lives at Newcastle. Howay the lads. Bruno needs to step up his game too, especially creativity. He is only world class in his. I think I heard he has never missed a game. Yeah, exactly. He's a world-class player in terms of being available and being fit and ready, just like Fred. And to be honest, I'm saying it. I'm gonna say it, man. Like, I wish we hadn't sold Fred, man. I really do, because I see a Mainu, Fred, and Bruno midfield, and suddenly I see this energy. I'm not saying we'll be a dominant control, but I would be like, right, I see energy in this midfield. I see energy, you know. I see pressing. I see stuff. I don't see that. Um, I don't see that with this midfield. Ten Hag has, for me, has made a lot of mistakes regarding player management. And at the end of the day, I cannot remember a single manager who, you know, pushed out Ronaldo, pushed out Fred, pushed out all of the players to bring these dons in only to not play them. That for me is what is, you know, you look at this squad that he has right now, and where is signings? Onana, okay, yes, fine, he's stick with him, but Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Sean Dallow were all here before him. McTominay was here before him. Mainu, he's an academy player. It's not him. He didn't bring him in. Rashford isn't his guy. Fernandes isn't his guy. Garnacho, like, there's no player aside from Onana in this team. So in the outfield players that is actually Ten Hag brought in, there's none. Yes, Lisandro's injured. Les Mount is injured. Yes, Eric's injured. I get that. But when you look at the fact that Amrabat, he brought him in. Hoyland, he brought him in. Reguilon, he brought him in. Anthony, he brought him in. The Ben Yanda guy brought him in. Not the others, but Van der Beek, he's worked with him. You know, four players. Well, five, I guess you could. Banier, who we could drop. But definitely four outfield players, and you could argue Donny van der Beek as well, not involved. So what does that tell you? Is that Ten Hag? Is that like on his? He doesn't understand. He should be in control of players, or he shouldn't be involved in the recruitment process, or is this something going on behind the scenes at Manchester United Football Club? You know, I have no idea. I have no idea. If there's any other pro player or such as I don't know. There's only one Bruno. Big up Newcastle. It ain't Bruno Fernandes. He's got a point. He has a point. He has a point. Right, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back again midweek for the Chelsea game, for the reaction, and obviously for the Champions League as well, where Bayern, you know, will be coming to Old Trafford. It's going to be a long season, Manchester United fans. All you can do is hope, because this team is, and this manager, unfortunately, absolutely clueless. Have a nice day, everyone, and cheers. Peace.